And you can see the high vac on the left, the positive means, you've got the HVAC, rent replacing windows, adding classrooms, adding one shop, adding a science lab, adding a kitchen. Those are the positive, junior high classrooms. You can look when they start going negative, locker rooms, the AC in the gym. Of course, EES blacktop, I think that's a parking lot, so that's repaving a parking lot. Tennis courts, enclosed gym, and look at the two that are the most unpopular, competition gym and a practice gym. This is why I worry about your bond, and why I feel like you definitely need to do one of these, because you've got a strong potential that those gyms that you have in your bond are going to cause it to fail.
With all due respect, sir, I don't think we need a lecture on what we should or shouldn't do. If we could just limit this to the presentation itself.
All right. This is where we did the bond election for USD 327. As you can see, this actually was done post. Maybe you can read the text there. This was USC 327's second effort to pass a bond, and it failed for the second time. So this is the second one. And so basically they came to us after this had failed twice, and we did the bond, and the graph that we show here is the bond that they tried to float on the second time. Our survey showed that 46.4% of our respondents said that they would vote against this bond, and you can see the election results. 47% said yes, 53% no. We hit it right on the nose. This is from our most recent bond election, and I mean, I really don't know what I'm supposed to say now. I'll just let you read it, and you can see which ones are.
I got some questions. What is your average participation rate?
27 to about 20. I would say 25 to 30%.
25 to 30%. And then after when are you suggesting that we perform this survey?
The survey takes 5 weeks to complete.
Okay, so towards the end of you would be fine to get it done if we choose to at the end of our education piece prior to the bond election.
I can start at any time.
Well, wouldn't it make more sense to get the education provided prior to the survey? Wouldn't it be best to do as much public education as possible?
If I could have finished my presentation, I could have showed you that one of the things that the survey will tell you where you need to focus your campaign, because it will show you which projects are unpopular. And if you know which projects are unpopular, you'll know how to target your information campaign.
And I understand that, but prior to calling something unpopular, wouldn't you want to do the best education that you possibly could, and then determine what is still unpopular or what is moved?
If you've got the time, I suppose, that would be a good strategy.
But does the survey itself act as an information piece?
I'm sorry?
Is the survey itself an education piece?
I believe so.
That would be a nice, more of a finishing touch, rather than paying $15,000 to find out information prior to maximizing our educational effort. I would see it as more of a finishing touch, reaching to the people that may have not been, rather than going through all the education and putting the survey out prior to finalizing the education. That's my opinion on this.
It could be, but our experience in Ellis was that we did the survey, and they found out that some of the things were very unpopular, and they implemented an education program, but it really didn't go anywhere.
How many of these have you done in the last 2 years?
3 total.
3 total? Okay. So of those 3...
How many surveys have we done?
Yeah, related to school bonds. Okay, in the last 2 years. Okay, and of those, these were done before or after a facility needs assessment that we went, of the like that we did?
I assume a needs assessment was done, because that's the way you determine what you need for your bond, right?
Well, or was
Not just an
your
assessment.
survey in these districts the start
No,
of that?
no. This is the first research we've done with any of these school districts.
But I think the question is, yes, the districts, as far as we know, the districts did do some research ahead of time to know what things would cost, right? How
Okay.
much these,
Well,
and then they came to us and do the survey, and then we provide the information to them.
because it's my understanding that, I mean, this is how, it was a survey done for you guys that started this whole process for us 4 years ago. And I just looked at those results, and it looks very much like this. And then after that, the district undertook the facility needs study that went on for 2 years. So I think the questions that we have discussed over this, when you have sent us emails on, regarding the survey, is that we feel like a lot of this has already been done in the case of our district. And so the value would be more of the informing you piece. So the timing of that, it seems, would be better suited after some education has been done.
Could be. I think the only difference is that research we did before was not asking folks if they would actually support a bond. It was
Well,
actually-
it was included on that, actually. The information that
Pretty sure
I reviewed. Is that what we were given last week? in the
Yeah,
email?
it was the,
It was.
what
It was
year,
one of the questions.
2011
In fact, there were probably 1 or 2 questions.
or 12 study, I know.
Any other questions?
So if we're looking at, I mean, I guess the things I'm hearing and that are speaking to me are, education to the public, PR to the public, and then one of the big things we discussed there was gyms. And I can't think of the word that Dean keeps calling them, but it's not a gym, it's a multi-purpose space. Is there something that this survey could help us with in those regards? You know what I mean? And that's, because I think what some of these questions are kind of getting around is, we're not really looking to change the scope of the bond. You know what I mean? We're heading in that direction. That's where we want to be. And I can tell you right now, I'll put myself out there, I don't want to cut the gyms because they are a multi-purpose space, and that's what they're designed for.
Well, you might not have to do that.
How do I, so what I'm asking you is how does this survey help me convey that to the public? How does that help bring a more positive light to that? Because I see...
All the survey can do, and you can call it whatever you want. You can call it a gym, you can call it a multi-use center, and you can describe it any way you want. I don't think you would want to deviate from, I mean, you don't want to try and make it look like you're misleading people, but I mean, that's how it educates people, is it tells them, it explains each of the projects and explains why. I mean, you could customize this thing. We can put the link to your website in there. Another thing that the survey could do would gauge support for a sales tax. And it might save you all the trouble of running a petition. If only 10% of the people say they will support a sales tax, it would save you from wasting all those resources trying to get a sales tax on the, if the survey showed it, there was virtually no chance it would
I
pass.
don't think it's wasting resources when you're trying hard to accomplish something that you feel strongly about. I don't like the term wasting resources. That's definitely not what this board is up here attempting to do at
Okay.
all.
Well, I'm trying to offer you a tool to make this more efficient. If you're not interested in that, well, I don't know. I've lost interest in doing it, frankly.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Nice attitude. Wow.
Okay.
Real impressive.